Hello, I'm Pat Barrett. This shirt could get me arrested by ICE. The 14th Amendment case, Trump v. Barbara, who's Barbara, is in the hopper now at the Supreme Court of the United States at the point of a decision. The 14th Amendment states very simply that anyone born on American soil is automatically a citizen, period. Some opinions of the Supreme Court and decisions are highly important and direct our country in important ways. For example, economic, social, legal, etc. Amending the Constitution stands at the top of this ability to change our Constitution, but the Supreme Court decisions are just below that. The 19th Amendment, for example, gave women the right to vote. They didn't have that right. My grandmother could not vote until she was in her 40s. But amendments are intentionally made hard to ratify. The Supreme Court decisions are made by only 9 people, not the whole country like amendments. Some decisions are overturned. Plessy v. Ferguson, 1896, enshrined racial segregation, but it was overturned 58 years later in Brown v. Board of Education. Those were seismic because the second one put us on the path to our country becoming a true democracy because it led to the Voting Rights Act of 1965. During my high school days, we were occupied with the question of whether black children should be allowed to go to school with white children if their white parents did not want them to. Black parents were not part of that conversation. I'd say the majority of political scientists cite that decision, Brown v. Board of Education, as setting off the major division in our country. Namely, not regional, not sexual, not economic, not religious, not education, but racial. I agree. I was there personally, and I personally experienced most of the effects of both the decisions, Plessy v. Ferguson and Brown v. Board of Education, which led to the Voting Rights Act and the Fair Housing Act. And for me and my wife, most important, was Loving v. Virginia, which stated that laws against interracial marriages were unconstitutional, making our marriage legal in all states. Now, before the Supreme Court of the United States is a challenge to the 14th. Should the 14th be modified or found to be so wrongly decided that it should be repealed, we face moves to deport many people from this country. Those supporting those moves have suggested as many as 100 million people thrown out of this country. Naturalized citizens, immigrants on visas, it doesn't matter. Barbara, getting back to Barbara, is the pseudonym of a Honduran immigrant whose child was born on American soil. The Trump administration, acting as the U.S. government, wants to deny citizenship to anyone born on U.S. soil, but to undocumented residents. This flies in the face of the 14th Amendment, which was to ensure that freed slaves would be recognized as citizens since they were born here. What is crucial for understanding the full intent of this is the review of the statements of not only those supporting the government's position, but of those directly involved in bringing the challenge, principally Donald Trump. Immediately on the Department of Homeland Security launching ICE on a mass deportation quest, it was clear their targets were not criminals or even just people here without documentation, without papers, but anyone who looked foreign. And that status of being foreign was achieved by having a dark skin or speaking with an accent. Norwegians were safe even if they did have an accent, unless, always watch these unlesses, unless they even mildly protested ICE, and then they could be shot. This relates to an earlier YouTube video of mine on ethnic cleansing. Stay tuned this summer for the decision from the Supreme Court. My wife and I may be packing our bags for Italy, where I have retroactive birthright citizenship. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch so we can discuss our options when that decision comes down. My sources for this discussion are Melissa Murray's new book, The Constitution, the U.S. Constitution specifically, just published, and an article in the Substack Unpopulist by David Beer, B-I-E-R, and numerous pertinent articles by Mike Brock on notes from the circus. Those are the things I've read to get me up to date on this. And thank you for watching, and please subscribe.